In the last 6 months, Claude quietly turned into the most powerful automation tool I've ever used. With MCPs, it can now take real actions inside the apps you already use, your Gmail, your Canva, your YouTube account, your ad manager, without you ever leaving the chat. But it's not all good. I tested a lot of MCPs over the last few months, and some of them are genuinely incredible. Others quietly burned through my credits, or just didn't work the way they were marketed. I'm going to show you the 6 that actually earned a spot in my workflow, and the ones I'd skip so you don't waste your time. By the end of this video, you'll have all 6 set up, the exact prompts I used to get them to do what I actually want, and one specific MCP that genuinely replaced a tool I was paying for every month. Let's get into it. You've probably heard about Higgsfield's Claude MCP by now. Cinematic video, storyboards, image gen, it's genuinely good, but here's what fewer people know. There's another MCP called Pixa that does basically the same thing, and the core version of it is free. That's the one I'll show you. Let me give you an actual example. I'm putting together a sneaker ad concept, and I want a hero B-roll clip. So I'm here in Claude. Pixa MCP is connected on the right, and I'll just type generate a 5-second cinematic clip. A pair of all white sneakers dropping in slow motion onto wet concrete, splash of water frozen midair around them, neon reflections on the ground, low angle hero shot, Nike ad aesthetic, send. Pixa picks the right video model, runs the job, and the clip drops right into the chat. There it is. Now look, the splash isn't quite landing how I want it, so I just type regenerate, bigger splash, more dramatic, freeze the water midair, and send. Way better. But here's the part most people miss. Pixa isn't just video. The same MCP also handles image generate, and it routes to whichever model is best for the job. So if I want a matching Instagram post to go alongside the ad, I just stay in the same chat and say, use GPT Images 2.0 to generate a square Instagram post. Same white sneakers from the video, now displayed on a clean concrete pedestal, neon pink background, bold sans serif text overlay that says, step into it, high-end product photography style. Send. Pixa hands the request to GPT Images 2.0, which is genuinely the best image model out right now for clean, type, accurate product shots, and the post comes back. Text rendered correctly, lighting matches to the video, ready to upload. Since everything's inside Claude, both assets flow straight into the next thing I'm building, which is exactly what the next MCP handles. Now I've got the video and the Instagram post, but this is a campaign, not a one-off. I need a full carousel, thumbnail, story templates, the whole pack. That's where the Canva MCP comes in. I'm going to just type, build me a 5-slide Instagram carousel for this sneaker campaign. Slide 1, bold hook. The drop, nobody saw coming. Slides 2 to 4. 3 reasons this sneaker stands out. 1 per slide, short, punchy text. Slide 5, CTA to shop. Use the white sneaker image I generated. Stick to a black, white, and neon pink color palette. Modern sans serif fonts. Match the Nike ad aesthetic. Claude opens the Canva MCP, pulls in the sneaker image from earlier in the chat, and starts building the carousel slide by slide. You can watch it happen in the Canva preview, slide 1, slide 2, all the way through. About a minute later, the carousel is done. 5 slides that are exactly on brand. Now look at slide 3. The text is running a bit long, looks cramped. So I just type slide 3 text is too long, shorten the headline to 4 words and bump the font size up, and Claude updates that one slide, doesn't touch the others. That's the thing about the Canva MCP. You're not designing anymore. You tell Claude what's wrong, it fixes the specific element, you move on. When I'm happy with it, I just say, export all 5 slides as PNGs and save them to my campaign folder in Drive. Now the files are in Drive, ready to schedule, but all of this is starting to pile up. Designs, files, emails, ideas, and somebody needs to actually keep it organized. Connect the Gmail and Drive MCPs together, and Claude basically runs as your personal assistant. Let me show you what I mean. I'll just type, go through my inbox from the last 7 days. Find every email that needs a response from me. Ignore newsletters, promotions, and anything automated. For each one, pull out who sent it, what they're asking for, how urgent it is, and the deadline if there is one. Put it all into a single Google Doc called Inbox this week, and save it in my admin folder in Drive. Now I just click send. Claude opens Gmail, scans through the week's emails, and starts pulling the ones that actually need a reply. About 90 seconds later, there's a clean doc in my admin folder. 12 emails, all summarized, sorted by urgency. The ones with deadlines this week are highlighted at the top. Now I can see at a glance what actually needs to happen today versus what can wait. But I'll push it further. I'll type, draft replies to the top 5 emails. Match my usual tone, friendly but direct, get to the point fast, no fluff. Save the drafts in Gmail but don't send them yet. Send. 5 drafts appear in Gmail. I read through them. They sound like me, they answer the actual question, and they're not bloated with AI-sounding fluff. I can also tweak them to my liking in case Claude got something wrong. What used to be an hour of inbox grinding is now 10 minutes of skimming and pressing send. And here's where it gets interesting. Once your inbox and your Drive are wired into Claude, every other MCP you connect gets way more useful, especially the next one, which I'd argue is the single most overlooked MCP in this entire stack. Most people who make stuff online, videos, posts, products, anything, are flying blind. They make the thing, post it, check the views the next day, and then make the next thing based on a vibe. I did this for years. The smarter move is to actually look at what's working before you make the next thing. The problem is that opening YouTube Studio and reading through analytics is genuinely one of the most boring tasks on the planet, so most of us just don't do it. This is where the YouTube MCP comes in. I'll just type, pull my analytics from the last 30 days. Show me my top 5 videos by views and average view duration, and tell me what those videos have in common. Topic, title style, thumbnail style, length. Then suggest 3 new video ideas that build on what's working, with hook angles I can actually use. Send to .claude pulls the data through the MCP and starts working through it on screen. And within about a minute, the top 5 videos come back with the numbers laid out next to them. Then it spots the pattern. Turns out videos with a tool name in the title, plus a clear time payoff, are pulling stronger than the explainer style ones, and average view duration drops off hard on anything over 12 minutes. Then it gives me 3 new video ideas built on that pattern, each with a hook angle attached, but I can push it further. Pull the top 20 comments from my last video and tell me what people are actually asking for. Group them by theme. The comments come back, grouped by theme. One cluster wants a deeper dive on a tool I mentioned briefly. Another cluster is asking how to apply this stuff if you're not technical. That's 2 more video ideas, pulled straight from the audience, that I would have missed by just scrolling through the comments tab. 5 videos worth of direction from one chat. And to wrap it up, I'll just say, save all of this, the analytics summary, the patterns, and the 5 video ideas, into a Google Doc called Content Pipeline in my channel folder. Done. Because Drive is already wired in from the last segment, the doc lands exactly where I want it. By the time I'm ready to actually film one of these, the research is already done and waiting. Okay, so up until now, everything we've done has been pretty safe. The next MCP is where things get real, because this is the one that can actually spend your money. This one's the riskiest MCP in the entire stack, and also the most useful if you actually run any kind of business. The Meta Ads MCP lets Claude draft and push ad campaigns straight into your ads manager. Copy, creative direction, targeting, budget, all of it. Now obviously, this one can cost real money if you're not careful, so I'm gonna show you exactly how I use it without burning anything. I don't mean to burn. So let's actually launch the sneaker campaign we created before. We've got the cinematic video clip from Pixa. We've got the Instagram post with the Step Into It copy from GPT Images 2.0. Both assets are sitting in Drive from earlier in the video. I'll just type, launch a sneaker drop campaign on Meta Ads. Use the cinematic video clip and the Instagram post from my sneaker campaign folder in Drive. Create 3 ad variations targeting men and women aged 18 to 30 in the US who follow streetwear, sneaker culture, and Nike adjacent brands. Each variation should test a different hook angle, exclusivity, social proof, and a limited time drop. Set a daily budget of $50 per ad, run them for 5 days, and save them as drafts in Ads Manager. Do not publish anything yet. Send. Claude pulls both assets from Drive, opens the Meta Ads MCP, and starts building the campaign. You can watch it work, drafting copy for variation 1, then 2, then 3, each with a different angle attached. About 90 seconds later, 3 campaign drafts are sitting in my Ads Manager, ready to review. Now this is the part I do not skip. I open Ads Manager myself, read every line of copy, double check the targeting, and verify the budgets are exactly what I asked for. If something's off, I just tell Claude what to change in the same chat. Once everything looks right, I publish from Ads Manager myself. That last step is intentional. Claude drafts, you launch. What used to be a full afternoon of campaign setup is now a 15-minute conversation plus a quick review. And once the campaign's running, I can come back the next day and just ask, pull the performance data from yesterday's sneaker campaign. Tell me which variation's winning, which is underperforming, and what to adjust for tomorrow. Done. Real-time campaign management without ever leaving the chat. Okay, that's the most expensive MCP on the list out of the way. Let me end on the cheapest, simplest, and somehow my favorite one. It's the Spotify MCP, and once you set it up, I genuinely don't think you'll ever go back to using Spotify the old way again, because we're about to turn Claude into our own personal DJ. Now hear me out. Every time I sit down to work, I lose at least 5 minutes scrolling Spotify trying to find something that fits the vibe. Lo-fi? Already heard it. Discover Weekly? Recommends Irish folklore songs. I'd end up putting on a podcast and getting 0 work done, so I connected the Spotify MCP. I can now prompt Claude. I'm about to do 90 minutes of deep work. Build me a focus playlist with no lyrics, mostly instrumental, electronic, and ambient leaning, around 90 BPM, and cue it up. Skip anything I've heard in the last week. Send about 10 seconds later, Claude has built a custom playlist, queued it on my speakers, and started playing the first track. No scrolling, no second guessing, no DJ play. That song from 2019 I can't remember the name of. I just tell it the vibe, and it figures out the rest. And the same thing works for everything else. Workout playlists, dinner playlists, playlists for a long drive. I can also go by vibe only. Build me a playlist that feels like driving through Tokyo at night. It's the kind of thing you don't realize you need it until you've used it for a week. So that's the full stack. 6 MCPs, 1 chat window, Pixa for the visual production, Canva for the design pack, Gmail and Drive running as the assistant layer, YouTube turning analytics into a real content plan, Meta ads handling the launch, and Spotify keeping me sane while I work. What used to be 5 different tabs, 3 subscriptions, and most of my afternoon is now 1 Claude window and a handful of prompts. If you only take one thing from this video, let it be that you don't need to use Claude as a chatbot anymore, wire it into the apps you actually use, and the whole thing changes. And if you want to see what happens when you take the agentic side of all this even further, Claude doing things inside apps is one thing, but a fully autonomous AI agent running entire projects on its own is a different beast. I made a full video on Manus AI that walks through exactly that. It's on screen right now. That's all for today. I'm Josh, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.